I'm not like I've heard of. I'm trying to think of what it would be. Now, there's buyer's remorse. It's when you buy something. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done it. Maybe you have seller's remorse, where I shouldn't have sold that. For Craig Conroy, where you were maybe going to be a buyer and then you weren't, as non-buyer's remorse, because I'm watching Dylan Cozens in a Senators jersey, and we heard for weeks about how the Flames were in on Dylan Cozens. Like, man, it feels like that'd be great if you could get that guy. I don't know how the trade. I don't know that it makes sense in any way for these two teams, but boy, he'd be a good fit as a Flame. He's like a dirty shirt. Watching him score, we talked about it. Sanderson with that pass 2 games ago, the one-timer into the empty net, and the way they celebrated, it's like they've got something cooking now, boy. What's
Yeah.
Buffalo? I mean, what's Buffalo doing? And Cozens, it just feels like, here we go. Him and Kachuk, 2 peas in a pod, these guys.
Well, and he moved in right away with Batherson because they were friends from World Juniors, and so that there's some of a familiarity about it. I don't want. I feel bad for Buffalo because is this going to be another guy that leaves Buffalo and flourishes? Yes. Rhett?
Why do you feel bad for them? They're just painful.
Well, it just at some point, like I kept thinking, like,
well, they do it to themselves. Don't say at some point, because at some point it's been over 14 years. 14.
You're right. It's going to be 14 years, no playoffs. And here's a 24-year-old, 6'3", right shot centerman. He's had
locked in with a contract.
Yeah,
within a contract. He's got 18 hits in 3 games. Now he's not going to beat people up, but he will show up. Everyone's pointing out, Kotkaniemi beat him up. I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, it happens. But the guy wasn't afraid to drop the gloves. He plays, a spirited game. Beautiful goal last night. You can't really blame Fedotov on that one, Boomer.
It's a nice giveaway from behind the net. I mean,
it was,
gracious.
incredibly. It was nonsense what was going on. Like I say, Torts' head changed a lot of different shades of color last night. Dylan Cozens is a great fit for Ottawa. They had to give up. I mean, everyone loves Josh Norris. And, Josh Norris was on display against Edmonton the other night because Evan Bouchard went back and in his usual lawn chair and turned the puck. And there it was. Norris turned that puck over Norris was able to poke it away and Thompson went in and scored the game-winning goal right there. So, I think I'm hoping for both organizations that's a win-win for a trade. Because I really love Josh Norris, too.
The second rounder is going to be the killer. I guarantee you that second round pick is going to turn into just a stalwart.
Pavel Datsyuk, somebody like that, right?
Yeah. Now we're laughing. It was just like, of course, the second rounder is going from Buffalo to Ottawa. Like, of course. The guy whose shoulders could fall off at any moment. You got to throw in the extra second to get him when you're giving away your cost-controlled young 20s huge leader that's already flirted with 70 points. Make sure you throw in that extra second.
And we're taking some shots at the Sabres, but they do deserve it, do they not? Have you heard rational? Like, I have not been able to understand the move. Even if you like Norris, the second rounder going the other, I don't get it. Does it make sense? Am I too emotionally attached?
I think we're all emotionally attached when you watch organizations and go, what the hell's going on? Like, I think you're looking at it and you see guys leave there and flourish and you're like, boy, it'd be nice for them to have this guy. It'd be nice for them. Like, even in my mind now Norris is 25. So it's a swapping out of centermen. On paper, Norris is a better goal scorer, which I do believe he is. But, he's also had the luxury of that one-timer position on the power play, and Ottawa's had a really good power play, the last couple of years. So I just think a change of scenery, is a good thing. And the one thing that I kind of get the messaging out of Ottawa now too is they don't want to just be content to go, hey, we can make the playoffs. They're trying to build a winner there, and they shook the core up. You saw the emotion from Brady Tkachuk. Like, that was his best friend. Like, that core drafted, developed, lived together, come up together, signed these big contracts together. I think they felt, and again, I have not gotten confirmation from the organization on that maybe there was a little too comfortable there. And we needed to, have a little jolt, little cattle prod on the core and say, you just so you know, you guys have long-term deals, but you live up to them and earn them. And, it shook the room. There's no doubt about it. You could, even from Travis Green's media to Brady Tkachuk's, but you saw what Brady did the next day. 24 hours later, he's, yelling and screaming with the crowd and his media after with Claire Hanna. He scores a game-winning goal. Like it was awesome. But that's Brady in a nutshell. He's an emotional guy, and you want him as your leader. And I think Cozens is going to be a great fit there. Shane Pinto's a player. Stützle for me is a superstar. I watch him as he gets more and more experience, control play. Sanderson's a superstar. And if the goalie can hold up, they might have something there in Ottawa.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.